Hello traders, Sean at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at NVDA, AMD, and Tesla on the daily time frame using technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. Go to my website, sign up for the free membership, or click down here in the right hand bottom corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. 28 million on the day, 4.25% up, or $6.63. Bulls are in charge. Back above the MA, we did recover that, confirmed, boom, with some nice follow through, got some volume too like we talked about. High pivot, resistance, got through there. We did close a little bit above it today, and then 165 and then 168.50 will be your next levels if it continues up. Will we get a pause day? Possibly. Let's see what the markets do. If the markets pause tomorrow, maybe a little bit down off this rally, then this thing will probably just chop around sideways and possibly wait into earnings now. Earnings a 50-50 shot, guys, so be careful with that. If you have a great trade here from down in this area, don't turn a great trade into a mediocre trade and have this thing come down. You never know, guys. It's 50-50. So just protect the trades if you're long. And if you're long and it goes up, enjoy the ride. Take something off the table. These stocks will come in eventually. Get another buy the dip mentality and buy back in and ride it back up, guys. Just keep doing the same thing. Goes up, retraces, goes up. I do want to show you one pattern, though. If you go back in time, this is the pattern I'm looking at right here. Look at that. So it came back in, retraced to the highs, and then it pulled back. Does it do the same thing? Nice run up. Had a little retrace here, but now we came down, retraced back to the highs. Does it come here, touch double top, and then go, just like here? Or if it busts through, then I'm thinking 170, 180, earnings 200 for this one, for all I know. On the opposite side, if you're bearish, then you want to get back below this pivot, get back below the MAs. This is a big one for this one, guys. And then I think you'll go end up here, the gap window, possibly gap fill down in this area around 106. But earnings can take us down there. Earnings can take us straight up either way. It's a 50-50 shot. All right, guys, let's go into AMD. So AMD, 2.88% on the day, 40 cents up. Another one, guys. Look what it did. So we talked about this gap. We talked about the blue line or the 750 retrace. We said, hey, watch out for the gap up and continue going. They don't want to deal with this. This is big resistance. So instead of dealing with it, they gap it up over it. The whole market's gapped up over everything. The SPY, everything, guys. So everything bounced up. It did, it wasn't that great, not as good as NVIDIA, but it did get above that area. It did close above the, where's the last 1429, so it did close above 14, so a good showing on the day, nice follow through, but now we're still above this moving averages, so a strong stance, but a little bit stretched. But now do we go sideways because we went up pretty good? And you got to remember, someone who bought down here at 12.16, you got a $2 move. Some guys, some guys and girls are taking some profits, saying thank you very much. We're almost back into this high range of the channel, guys. So if it hits here again, it's been hitting it. This will be the 1, 2, 3, 4th time here going up. But you also have good resistance here at 14.99 as well. There's another gap fill. Yeah, 14.9. So $15, another gap fill right in that area. Still got to get the high, above these pivots high around 14.75 as well. But guys, what a nice run. Bullish stance. Above the MAs. Let's wait for pattern. Let's see what happens. If it continues up, watch for this area, then the $15. If it can't get past that, probably pull back and come down. But the same thing coming up. Earnings report. This thing can fly. This thing can dive. So 50-50 shot on earnings. If it does go up, you're looking at 15.55, 16.21, 17.78, possibly $20. That will be the next area. We'll look at some more areas if it does start popping up through there. If it comes down, you got great support, 50-20 or 50-20, 200 MA, you got a couple gaps to fill, then ultimately double bottom at 983. So watch for that in the top of the channel here. If we start sliding again, just watch out for area support, and we'll see how this thing sets up to possibly go lower. Just like this, you had a great pullback, and then boom, slingshot. Now does it come back, and then maybe another move, or does it come back to the bottom now? So we've been making these 1, 2, 3 moves. And we'll see what happens. I mean, over and over. We're still in the channel. That's the big one. Are we going to bust up or are we going to bust down? Right now, it's looking like it's trying to get for the all-time highs and possibly higher. Again, guys, earnings, be careful. Volume was a little bit better than yesterday, so that's picking up a little bit. That's a good sign. Let's see, Tesla. But just still be careful with these guys. Monthly charts, and we'll go over the weeklies on Friday, but you still got to watch out for this stuff. So Tesla, guys, volume was okay, a little bit drying up from those sell candles. I mean, this thing was selling, guys, on news, of course, but back below the 50 and the 20, a little bit of weak stance, going down and sideways. We did run into this trend line and the gap fill today, or yesterday. We did fill the gap and we did close above it, but we can't get above this line right now. So let's see if we start chopping around. I want to see. I'm going to put a smaller retrace on this one just for the time being. So let's see if this thing comes up. Oops. Let's see if it comes up into this area here. Yeah, I just want to see. Okay, so we're almost 382, 618. Yeah, this will be a big area too, around 367. Again, no earnings coming up on this one. Let's see if we stay down here and chop. If we stay in the lower range, then this one could be possibly setting up for the 261 area. We still have some support coming down, 300, pivot, gap down here. But if it stays down here and keeps setting up, this 20 MA curls down, earnings can save it. This thing could go to 400 earnings. This thing can drop to 260, or maybe the Goldman Sachs guy at 180. But check this out though, the 180 price target, he's saying pretty much back to the November lows, and that's what I keep saying with all these equities. So it doesn't make it there. I don't know. The Trump trade, I think we're floating up on hopes and dreams. And the Trump trade, it was a reason to make these markets go one more time. But that's me. We'll see where it goes. I'm a chart guy, really, to throw that out there. But we did fill the gap right here. That's why we bounced up for a couple days. I mean, a chop, it finally fell into the gap fill. That's where it got it. I thought for sure we'd fill the gap and maybe come to this pivot. But they didn't want it. Reason why, guys, though, check this out. So on the weekly 20 MA, that's more support here. So you had a great area for a bounce. Reason why I helped it, SPY was green. If the SPY was red, though, this one would have had probably a little more troubles. But as long as the SPY is going up, everything's moving up, this will catch a bit off these big support levels on the weekly chart as well. But daily, a little bit beat down, a little bit oversold. You get by the dippers in this one. That's why it's pushing up. Let's see what the SPY brings us Thursday, Friday. If it's pretty much quiet, these can possibly move up higher, these three. If the markets start to sell a little bit, you'll probably get a pause there. These will come down a little bit as well. That's usually what happens. It's going to be a market trade, guys. SPY stays green, everything will stay buoyant unless they get news or earnings or something like that. SPY goes red, you'll get a little bit of selling, of course. So you're looking at the SPY. Let's see what the volume is tomorrow. Let's try to get a handle on these markets and see what happens in the next couple days. So I don't know if more lip service out of Yellen this week, but I think she does come out next week with some inflation numbers and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Hope you're having a good night. God bless. See you on the charts.